Hello there. I want to talk to you today about authenticity. What really is authenticity, and what really causes people to live lives that are not really authentic, lives that do not belong to them? What really causes people to begin to live a life that is more like copied, a life that is more like just given away or just copied from somewhere else? What really is the cause of all these things? If you get the root word of the word authenticity, you're going to begin to understand that it comes from the word authentic. And the simplest way I would describe the word authentic is real. Okay, so when I'm talking about authenticity, I'm basically talking about you being real. Okay, you being real. So you may be watching me right now and you're wondering, what really am I trying to describe? What really am I trying to bring to, to bear? But in all essence, you might actually be living a life that is not real and you are not really aware of it. How do you know that you're living a life that is not real? Okay, those are categorized as causes or areas in which authenticity and bringing in the life that is not yours comes in. We have a lot of youths, a lot of young ones, a lot of boys, a lot of girls that are living their lives, in accordance to what other people have said, in accordance to what other models, are living their lives. For example, I would actually identify a role model to say, I'm going to live my life like this man, maybe this musician, maybe this preacher, maybe this teacher, or whoever it might be. I just acknowledge that I'm going to live my life based on the standards that have placed, the standards and the way of life that this type of model who I'm going to be emulating has set. Okay, so in living my life based on those standards that other person has said, I'm actually not really imitating, but living a fake life. Okay, now I can imagine if I were to be given an opportunity to create something, if I'm given an opportunity to create something and then I begin to create this thing to say, okay, I need this thing to be black. Okay, I need this. Let me just give you an example. If I were to have a puppy and I decide that I'm going to name this puppy Bindi, I decide that I'm going to name this puppy Bindi. And then Bindi is going to be white in color. I decide, okay, Bindi is going to be the name, white is going to be its color, and Bindi is going to be staying indoors almost the entire day. Those are the rules, and that's how I've described and defined and really put the labels of the standards and labels that this puppy is supposed to follow. Then imagine if the puppy has the right also to choose based on how they feel, on based on how other people may have put standards and labels on them. For example, if this being defines out that some of these puppies are actually playing outside, and then they've got different colors and all those things, and then it begins to decide to say, I wish I also was white, I mean black. I wish also I had maybe an opportunity to go out and have this freedom like my friends are having. And then they begin to actually want to live their lives in accordance to what those people, the puppies that it is emulating actually living. So in itself, by it emulating the standards, by it emulating the model and the things that are being exemplified by the particular individual that is not really themselves, is what is called fake, authenticity. Usually, in most cases, people are living their lives like they just want to live their lives in accordance to what other people have said, in accordance to what other people have labeled to be true about them. Today I'm going to talk about two or one major cause of lack of being authentic, lack of being real with yourself, lack of living a life that is authentic. The major cause that causes people to live a fake life, the major cause that causes people to live a life that is not that is outside of who they really are, is lack of knowing who they are. That's the major cause. The first cause, actually, lack of knowing who you are will enable you to actually live a life that is not authentic, because you basically do not know who you are. So it is actually going to be very difficult for you to live based on who you are, because you don't know who you are. Let me give you an example. If you don't know what the answer is, if you don't know what the answer is, and then the teacher gives you a wrong answer, you're not going to be able to identify or rather distinguish that the answer that the teacher has given me is wrong, because you do not have a right answer within you. So you are not going to be able to differentiate or distinguish which one is right and which one is wrong. So usually what causes people to live a life that is not really authentic is because they don't know what they have and who really they are. So number one solution to you living an authentic life, number one, is knowing who you are. Okay, knowing who you are. Identify what type of a person you are. Identify what type of possibilities, capabilities, potentialities that dwells and lies on the inside of you. Once you begin to identify, analyze, and scrutinize, begin to dig into roots. What really is made up of me? Who really am I? And then you're going to have to, find out. It's more like self-discovery. You reach a point where you now begin to discover who you are. By discovering yourself, it will enable you to be able to distinguish yourself from other people because you would have known who you are. So the first step is identifying and distinguishing or recognizing yourself. Okay, you now look at yourself to say, what can I do best? What do I do best? What do I enjoy doing? You begin to really gradually dig into, the possibilities that you have. You begin to dig into the capabilities that you have. You begin to allow yourself to breathe and allow yourself to experience life in a different perspective because you're in a space, you're in a field of discovery. You're not discovering who you are to say, what exactly can I do? What exactly am I good at? What exactly am I made of? Number one, for you to identify who you are, you're supposed to first know whose you are. Okay, the puppy, for it to have its own labels, the puppy, for it to have its own standards, the puppy, for it to have its own ways of living, entails that for them it is something different because they know that they've got someone who's in charge of them. They've got someone who is more like their sheep, their shepherd, someone who is more like taking care of them, someone who is more like their maker. And then they cannot come outside of the house and just begin to live their lives the way they want it to be because they know that they've got someone who is responsible for them. So identify whose you are. By identifying who you are, you'll be able to identify the one that created you. Usually I put it this way: you're able to identify who you are. You're able to recognize who you are if you recognize whose you are. For example, I'm able to identify myself as in me being Franklin because of my father. Okay, I carry his surname, I carry his gene. For me to actually be able first to know who I am from the standard point, the basis point, I'm supposed to reflect to my father who really is he, because he's the one that that put the gene in me. So I'm supposed to identify all those things. Then after identifying whose I am, I'll be able to identify my identity. But in essence, the actual identity comes from your creator. The actual identity comes from your creator. How then do you find out who you are? You find out who you are by finding out who your creator is. So if you begin to dig into the roots of who your creator is, it will enable you to begin to find out yourself what you're able to do. Because, if I am a person, I reproduce after my own. So it means that if you find out who your creator is and you find out what your creator is able to do and what your creator says about themselves, you'll be able to identify yourself. So today, what I want you to know is that you need to come out of the a non-authentic zone. Live an authentic life. Live a life that is actually real. Live authentic you. For you to live authentic you, we've described that you're supposed to first of all acknowledge who you are. And in order for you to acknowledge who you are, you're supposed to acknowledge whose you are. Okay, so in the next video, we're going to have information on how you can identify, on how you can move on with life and know whose you are and identify your relationship with the person who is actually your creator. So I wish and hope this video has been more impactful. This video has been more insightful, and it has actually shifted your perspective on authenticity. And I would like you to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't subscribed. I would like you to follow my Facebook channel, my Facebook page, my podcast channel. Usually this information is going to be spread on all our podcast channels, YouTube channel, and Facebook. So I'd like you to follow all of the platforms so that you can never miss any information. And as you subscribe to the YouTube channel, be sure to tap on the notification button so that you should not be able to miss information and content that is going to be coming every week. Have a good day.